Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shikha, as always, hasn't changed, and I welcome you to my channel. I love all the comments and the love that you guys have been sending my way. I really appreciate it. I hope that you guys find these videos useful, especially as a younger INFJ. The reason I started doing these videos, just to give you a brief synopsis, is because I wish I had these kind of videos when I was younger to make me realize, oh, that's the reason I do this. Ah, that makes sense. So in this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about how I've spoken about this previously, but we have this weird abhorrence, this weird hatred of small talk. Now, as you can see, my hair is kind of a little bit of a mess, and it's like uneven up and down. Like this side is shorter than this side. Oh, if my mother saw me, she'd be so ashamed. But the reason is because I started cutting my own hair. Now, why do I do that? It's because I absolutely cannot stand the awkward silence when I'm at a hairdresser. And so obviously I try to fill it because I'm sitting there and thinking to myself, oh, this person must be bored. And so before I can say anything, they start talking and they ask me questions. Also because I'm living in a strange country and they look at me and they think maybe she's a mix of Thai and white. Maybe she's a mix, maybe she's not. Where is she from? Maybe India, who knows? And so they obviously ask me a lot of questions about, where I am from, and they're interested. I understand, I would be the same. And so ask me millions of questions, especially if they speak English. They're really intrigued. And I have to sit there and answer these questions and be polite about it because this person has a pair of scissors and my hair is at stake, right? Doesn't really mean anything because look at me, I'm walking around like this. So it doesn't really matter to me as much, but they do have a pair of scissors also, like it's kind, and if they're asking me questions, I do answer. But I do feel every single time that I have to go there, I actually really get annoyed by the fact that I have to get this done. Like, because my hair doesn't require a lot of things. It's really basically like a straight cut, mostly. And I really could just do it at home. So every single time I go, I think to myself, oh man, I'm paying $20 or $30 or $40 for this nonsense where they literally just cut it straight through, and I have to sit there for half an hour and listen to them chat and have a conversation with them. Like, what a waste of time. What a waste of money. Why the hell am I doing this to myself, right? Now, this is not just at a hairdresser. Like, this is just one example of how I've started cutting my own hair because I hate small talk. But this kind of outlines, or it kind of runs through the entire scheme of my life, right? I'll be sitting there at work and, people are kind of engaging in small talk, talking about stuff that's going on, and I'll laugh and I'll concentrate really hard on my computer and I start typing really fast so that they know that I'm busy doing something else. So that I don't want to engage in that conversation. And I've kind of built up these random little tricks or tips or random things that I do so that I can kind of avoid small talk. And I have this thing where I'm walking through, the resort that I work at, and someone will be like, hey, oh my god, you didn't even see me. You must be deep in your thoughts. And I'm like, yeah, really busy. Gotta get to work. Time. Don't have a watch, but I have to get back to work. I have a meeting, and I'll walk away. Because I know with some people that all they want to do is they want to talk about themselves, and that's fine. But I don't have time for that during the day because I have things to do. Also because I have to get through my day so I can get back home and I can do this kind of stuff, this work, this creative work. And I really realize as I get older, I really want to say no more often to all these random conversations, no to all these energy pullers, because I really want to take all my energy and really direct it towards the things I really care about, right? My writing, my creative work, reading, taking care of myself, making sure that I'm living the life that I want to lead, moving towards my ideal life, etc. I really want to move towards all that stuff. And the more I give my energy away, in even little ways like that, you might think, oh, it's just a little thing. Why don't you just give it away? Well, little things, little by little, will break the dam. You probably heard of that story where, there was a little hole in the dam. I think this was from a long time ago. It's a very old story. It's a fable. And there's a little tiny baby hole in the dam, right? You know what a dam is? A dam is that thing that holds the water back, right? So it can create energy. And so there's a little hole, and people are like, well, it's just a little hole. It's not a big deal. It's going to be fine. But what happened over time was that little hole became bigger and bigger, so much so that the whole village was engulfed by water in a matter of a few months. Now, that's just a story, but it actually kind of tells you that little by little, even if you give your energy away little by little, you're like, no, this is just a small thing. It's not a big deal. I can do that. But little by little, what happens is that people start pulling at you more and more. So first they'll start pulling at you more and more because they're trying to test the boundary, right? They're trying to see, oh, can I pull a little bit more right now? Can I pull a little bit more? Can I pull a little bit more? And if you don't say stop, and if you don't show them the boundary where it is, they'll keep on pushing you. That's just the way people are. It's totally fine. But the second thing is that, you give a little bit here, and then the other person sees, oh, she's giving it a little bit here. So then they call you over and they ask for a little bit more, and then eventually your whole day has been shot because you haven't done anything really useful with your life. You haven't done the things that you wanted to do because you've been running around, fighting fires, giving your energy away to people that are asking for it. Okay? And so I am very adamant. Like I know I can seem a little strict sometimes with you guys. You probably look at these videos and you think, oh my God, she's a little bit harsh. I'm making my life that way. I'm making myself that way. I make myself this harsh because it's very easy, because I look very nice. I look like a very nice person, and I know that because everyone says, oh my God, you're so nice. And I think to myself, I'm not nice. But I look like I'm a very nice person, and I am usually very nice, and so people think that they can push me. And it's funny because, I think this happens with most INFJs. People think that we're really nice people, so they can just push us and pull energy from us over and over again, and we won't say no. Now, when I was younger, that was the truth. I was afraid to say no because I was afraid of losing my friends. I was afraid of seeming like a bitch. I was afraid to seem mean, whatever it was. There's a billion reasons I had. I was a people pleaser. So I was afraid to say no. Now I don't care. Actually, if they don't like me because of that, it's a good thing for me. I'm actually happy about that because that means one less person I have to worry about, one less person that's going to be my friend, one less person that's going to pull at me. That's great. If they just kind of like cull themselves off or remove themselves from my life voluntarily, that's awesome. I'm really, 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 really grateful for that. So I'm a little harsher than normal nowadays because I don't want to give them even a little bit of leeway, because the little bit that I give, the more that they pull at me. And I really am always setting boundaries with people. And I know that you guys, if you're a younger INFJ or a newer INFJ, you probably have a really hard time with setting boundaries. And I totally get it. It doesn't mean that you have to start setting boundaries right away. It takes a little bit of time to get into it, to get comfortable with it, to do it in a way where people don't get offended. Nowadays, I can just set boundaries in a way where people totally understand it and they don't actually push at me, they don't cry about it, they don't get upset about it. If they do, then I don't want that person in my life anyways, because I'm setting boundaries for my self-care to make sure that I'm alive and well and able to do the work that I'm doing. And if they get upset about it, then I don't want them in my life. And if they don't get upset about it, cool. We can still be friends and we can still be acquaintances and we can still have a conversation every now and then. But if you're not going to be happy about it, I don't give a rat's ass. It's not about you. It's about me. It's about the fact that I'm trying to do this work here. If you just want to sit around all day long and bitch about people or moan or complain, then do that. I'm not stopping you from doing that. I'm not going to be included in that conversation. I'm not going to let myself be pulled by that. Please don't do it. We're not friends if you're going to be doing that all day long. And please don't ask me to be a part of it, okay? Because as soon as you do, I'll say no, and you're going to be upset about it, and I really don't want to do that. So let's just stay separate, like just stay far away from each other, right? And I've had to have this conversation, as I've said before, several times, because some people, they think that I'm just joking. Oh, you might be, you're so funny. And I say, I'm not joking. No, I'm not joking. People think, again, because we're nice, they think that I'm joking about this stuff. I'm not. I'm not. Even right now, I might be smiling about it, and I'm going to do all these videos with a smile, but when it comes down to it, when it comes down to pushing my boundaries out and saying, no, stop it, don't do that, I've told you before not to do that, I'm pretty mean about it. And you guys will see it if you walk around. If you were ever friends with me or if you ever saw me walking around the world, you will see it. And instantaneously, like a viper, like a snake, like I rear my head out. I'm like, shut up and don't do that anymore. Don't do it. Just back off. And so I'm very good at that now. But it took me a long time to get here. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this video as well, is that, first of all, yeah, we hate small talk. But more than that, the reason we hate small talk, the reason why we're creating all these boundaries is not because we're trying to be selfish about it. We're doing it because it's necessary for us in order to be alive on this planet, in order to not burn out. And I really want to really warn you guys, especially if you're a younger INFJ, that one of the main things you need to learn to become a more balanced INFJ is to create better boundaries, to learn how to create boundaries, better boundaries, without feeling bad about it. Don't feel bad about it. It's nothing to do with them. You don't hate them. Nothing to do with them. It's to do with you. And if they don't get it, then they shouldn't be in your life anyways, right? Create really good boundaries, especially with your parents. They really need them, especially with your friends. Really, really, really need them. And with random strangers, especially also, they just create boundaries because people like to push. They like to push, and to see how far they can push a person. It's just normal, nothing to do with you, nothing to do with them. That's how the world behaves. You need to really set clear boundaries because then they won't push. People don't push me. Once I set a boundary for them, if they push me again, the relationship is over. And I never talk to them again. So don't do that. Leave me alone and I shall leave you alone, right? Treat me the way I want to be treated and I'll treat you the way you want to be treated, right? So I hope this kind of explains to you guys a little bit. I really want to share this with you guys because, and I'll be talking about boundaries a lot over the next few months or years or whatever, because the topic within me changes as well. Like the way I set boundaries, I don't feel bad about it anymore. I used to feel bad about it. Things within me change as well, and I want to share that with you. I want to share that energy with you so that you can use that in order to create boundaries in your own life. Because I'm sure as a younger INFJ, you haven't done that yet. You know, you're not used to it yet. You feel bad about it. You feel, oh my God, they need me, blah, blah, blah. No one needs anyone else, right? We're not their caretakers. We're not the guardians of the galaxy, as I said before. Not everyone's life is on our shoulders. We're not their caretakers. We're not taking care of them. Unless you're a mother and your child needs you, there's no one on this planet who needs you in that manner, right? You're not their caretaker. Remember that. Please remember that, okay? Because that's not your responsibility. Everyone has to take care of themselves. You can't do anything for them. You might be able to help them a little bit, but it's just going to drain you. And what they really need to do is they need to deal with their shit themselves, because that's how the world works, right? You can't deal with their shit for them. They have to do it themselves, otherwise it's not going to work. The same stuff is going to keep coming up over and over again for them. So I just tell them, go deal with your stuff. It's your stuff. I'm not dealing with it. I have my own stuff to deal with. You know, we have our own shit to deal with. So how can we deal with someone else's shit? Well, there's no time for that, right? I have a limited amount of time on this planet. I've said this before to you guys. I might be dead tomorrow, and I want to make sure that if I am dead tomorrow, that today I spend in a way that I want to spend it. Not dealing with other people's shit, but dealing with the way I want to do it. Doing these videos, you know, doing one last video for you guys, or writing one last novel, or writing one last paragraph, you know, or living one last sunset. You know, I want to do those things. I don't want to be dealing with other people's complaints, whining, moaning, whinging, whatever it might be, okay? Or anything else. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I hope I've been able to explain myself to you. Again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on my channel. I really appreciate it. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.